houses and more. Flow Rhythm Festival, Saturday, June 28th at Devon House. Admission free. See you there.
Are you ready for something mega?
Spend $6,500 or more before GCT, drop your entry in the box and you can win a 2025 Hyundai Tucson. It's the Mega Wheels Tour promotion, April 5th to September 28th. Second prize, a $50,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Third prize, a $30,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Brought to you by Hyundai, Restaurant, Heineken, True Milk, Rex, Walker's Wood, Downing, CPJ Daiquiri, and Carryburst Juice Concentrate. Only at Megamart, locations island-wide. Megamart, best value by far. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
The STEM Certified Robotics Training Camp 2025 will run from July 7 to July 28 at the following schools: Jamaica College, Hillel Academy, Bishop Gibson High, St. Hilda's High, Anoto Bay High, Marcus Garvey High, and Portmore Missionary Prep. The program includes robotic engineering and coding for ages 10 to 18 plus. Spots are still available, so register now at www.zegjamaica.com/robotics or call 876-880-3301 or 499-3157.
Get ready for the ultimate celebration of Jamaican culture. It's the Flow Rhythm Festival, Saturday, June 28th at Devon House from 12 noon. Rhythm up with live performances from John Mark Wigan, Wayne Marshall Mitchell, and Amani. Explore the artisan village and see Jamaican-made creations. Bring your A-game to the domino competition and the whole family can turn up the fun in the gaming zones, kids village with bounce houses and more. Flow Rhythm Festival, Saturday, June 28th at Devon House. Admission free. See you there.
Laborites, we journey to the West Kingston Fortress for Area Council 1 meeting at the Fletcher's Land Community Centre this Sunday, June 29, 5 p.m. Come hear from JLP Stalwart's Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie, who leads the charge. Hear Central St. Catherine MP Olivia Babs-Grange, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, MPs Bernal Charles Jr., Anne-Marie Vaz, Donovan Williams, Senators Abka Fitz-Henley, Delano Steve Wright, Shireen Golden Campbell, Councillor Donovan Samuels, and others. JLP active and strong with plans to make Jamaica prosper. That's Area Council 1 meeting, Sunday, June 29, Fletcher's Land Community Centre, 5 p.m. And you don't know, we choose Jamaica every time.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
5 o'clock.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Andrew Cannon. Coming up in the news for this Saturday, June 28, 2025, Elderly Care and Protection Act report tabled in the Senate. Over $300 million collected by the NWC from Portmore residents in May under the Commission's Amnesty Program. Ground broken for the construction of new multi-million-dollar Ocherius Health Center in St. Anne. On the international scene, Iran holds state funeral for military leaders killed in Israel conflict. And in sport, England are the winners of the UEFA Under-21 competition. The details after this.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
The Special Select Committee of the Senate tasked with reviewing a proposed Elderly Care and Protection Act has tabled its report. The private member's motion was brought forward by Opposition Senator Floyd Morris. After months of in-depth deliberations and consultations, the report was tabled on Friday, marking the conclusion of the committee's examinations. The proposed act is aimed at safeguarding the rights of older persons in Jamaica. This follows a series of 16 meetings beginning in December 2024. Several stakeholders made submissions, including the National Council for Senior Citizens, the Caribbean Community of Retired Persons, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The report includes recommendations that the rights of older persons be enshrined in law. It also recommends the Office of an Elder Care Advocate be established to intervene in matters affecting older persons. A definition for elder abuse to include physical, sexual, emotional, and financial abuse, as well as abandonment, is also being proposed. The report similarly calls for a tribunal to be established with the power to adjudicate in matters of breaches of the proposed act. Over $300 million has been collected by the National Water Commission (NWC) from Portmore residents. The funds were collected in May under the Commission's amnesty program. This was disclosed by the NWC Revenue Recovery Manager for St. Catherine, Colleen Williams-Champagny, during Nationwide's People Agenda Town Hall held at the Portmore Heart Academy on Thursday.
Residents in Portmore have really made good use of the amnesty. When we think about Portmore in particular, we're talking about a billing of approximately $350 million monthly. And so far, if I was to be a little bit more specific, when we think about the month of May, we were able to collect up to $360 million. And that would have been a testament to the whole amnesty initiative, because in that stead, we would have averaged a CB ratio of 102%.
And by CB, you mean?
Collections to billing.
Okay.
Right. So we would have billed 350, we collect 360 within that period.
More than 30,000 NWC customers have benefited from its amnesty program. According to the Commission, it has written off more than $1.6 billion in outstanding debt owed by qualifying customers. Mrs. Williams-Champagny noted that Portmore's collections to billing ratio is oftentimes fairly high.
Normally, the CB ratio within Portmore, whereas there's always room for improvement because, we would rather to collect
than disconnect.
Of course. But it ranges between 85 to say 92%. So,
and where does that rank nationally? Are they in the highest quintile or middle, low?
I would regard them in the higher quintile because, quite frankly, St. Catherine on a whole is one of our larger parishes and a larger customer base.
Colleen Williams-Champagny, NWC Revenue Recovery Manager for St. Catherine. And Acting Corporate Public Relations Manager at NWC, Delano Williams, says residents in Portmore are now benefiting from better water supply due to the non-revenue water program.
Typically, we would be pumping 9.2 million gallons into Portmore, what we perceive to be demand. Recently, we did what is called, we're in the fourth year of what is called a non-revenue water reduction.
Yes.
Basically, it looks for leaks and it looks for areas where people are stealing water.
Yes.
Now that we've targeted the leaks, we've seen over 82,000 leaks over the 4 years. It therefore means that we have better water supply, we have less need for day-to-day pipeline repairs. So if we don't have to be stopping and starting, it means that water is always flowing.
In May last year, the Commission brought water loss in Portmore from 70 to 40%, which resulted in an increased supply to more residents in St. Catherine. The NRW program involves leak detection and repairs and reduction of commercial losses through metering and infrastructure improvement. Williams says that the Commission is working towards identifying alternative power supply solutions for the area.
Where we're working toward is to get more resilience in stuff like our backup power systems. When we have unforeseen breaks or if we have breaks in power supply, it also affects our water supply because the pumps need electricity to run. So we have been working twofold. One of it is to look at what alternate power supply solutions we can put in place that can safely continue our operations if there is an unforeseen break with the JPSCO. The second thing is we would have recently broken ground at the Rio Cobre content water treatment plant site. That will introduce into St. Catherine and Kingston 15 million gallons of water.
Delano Williams, Acting Corporate Public Relations Manager at the NWC. He was also speaking at the People's Agenda Town Hall staged by Nationwide at Portmore Heart Academy on Thursday. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton broke ground on Friday for the construction of a new $818.5 million Ocherius Health Center in St. Anne. The contract for the construction of state-of-the-art facility under the Health System Strengthening Program was also signed by Minister Tufton and Cinetech Engineering Solutions Limited. Work is expected to commence in short order and construction is projected to last 16 months. The new facility will span approximately 2,285 square meters and will significantly expand health services in the area. It's expected that when completed, the health center will offer improved services such as ultrasound, dentistry, laboratory services, mental health care, curative care, and improved maternal and child health. It will also provide a more comfortable and efficient environment for both patients and medical staff. In his remarks, Dr. Tufton said the parish is experiencing unprecedented levels of development, not only in health, but also in housing, roads, water, education, and sanitation. An exotic dancer was fatally stabbed at a nightclub in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth on Saturday morning. She has been identified by the police as Trudy Francis, otherwise called Chocolate. The police are reporting that a suspect has been taken into custody following the murder. A police report said about 2 a.m., she was at the Spendless nightclub when there was an argument with a man and a knife was reportedly used to stab the dancer. She was transported to hospital and pronounced dead. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police, Superintendent Coleridge Minto, said the suspect was apprehended in an operation after detectives processed the crime scene. He said the suspect was nabbed at a premises in Santa Cruz. This latest incident has pushed the number of murders so far this year in St. Elizabeth to 7 when compared to 18 for the corresponding period last year. Inmates and wards of the state should shortly be equipped with the skills and training necessary to secure meaningful employment upon release, following the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding by the Ministry of National Security, Department of Correctional Services, and Hart NSDA Trust. The signing took place at the Ministry's offices in New Kingston on Friday, June 27. Permanent Secretary Ambassador Addison Stone Roof, Managing Director, Hart NSDA Trust Dr. Tanisha Ingleton, and Commissioner of Corrections Brigadier Retired Raj Mason were the signatories. Addressing the ceremony, Minister of State in the Ministry of National Security Julia Cuthbert Flynn described the collaboration as a critical step in strategic approach to rehabilitation and reintegration. Mrs. Cuthbert Flynn further stated that by equipping the wards and inmates with vocational skills and certification, the state enhances their employability and contribute to reducing recidivism rate. The state minister noted that the comprehensive MOU will not only benefit inmates and wards in state care, but also staff of the DCS and mentors of the We Transform Youth Empowerment Program, and will facilitate the inclusion of special projects such as the Citizen Security Plan and the ministry's Live Good Anti-Violence campaign. Member of Parliament for East Central St. Catherine, Alanda Terrelong, says the landscape of education in his constituency has evolved over the last 9 years. He was speaking at the People's Agenda Town Hall staged by the Nationwide at Portmore Hart Academy on Thursday.
Over the last 9 years, we have been focused on rebuilding education. So take, for example, one of our flagship schools is Gregory Park Primary. We have literally turned Gregory Park Primary around from what was considered to be a failing school to now a school that is beyond developing. Minister of Education was here recently and we did a tour of 4 schools across the constituency. And a part of that was just to demonstrate how much we have changed and how much we continue to transform the education landscape. You know, sometimes people will cuss and people say, boy, Terrelong always focus on education and Pitney can't vote and everything. But what I always say to persons is that when the Member of Parliament invests in the education of your children, he's investing in your communities and he's also investing in our country.
Just last month, Minister of Education Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon lauded the principal and staff of Gregory Park Primary School. This was done on her tour of 4 schools in the ministry's Region 6. This included Cedar Grove Academy, Nuggerhead Infant School, and Nuggerhead Primary School. She commended the school for its turnaround, innovative teaching methodologies, particularly in literacy and numeracy, and its exceptional leadership. MP Terrelong outlined several improvements in institutions across the constituency.
I want persons to understand that it doesn't matter where you're from. It is the mindset. And that is the kind of empowerment that I want for our children. So education has been a big push. We have transformed Nuggerhead Primary as well by working with our principals. When you look at Independent City over the last 9 years, we have grown from 700 plus students to now over 1,200 students. We've also had some of our basic schools transformed to infant departments. And it was important for me to get this done whilst I was a minister in the Ministry of Education, simply because basic schools are private institutions.
Yes.
But when they become infant departments, the principal can now and the board chair can now call the MP or call the ministry and say, the roof want to fix and not turn back to the parents or turn to the community.
Alanda Terrelong, Member of Parliament for East Central St. Catherine. On the international scene, a state funeral has been held in Iran for about 60 people, including military commanders and nuclear scientists killed during the 12-day conflict with Israel. Coffins draped in the Iranian flag bearing portraits of deceased commanders were flanked by crowds near Tehran. The conflict ended with a ceasefire earlier this week after the U.S. became directly involved by bombing key nuclear sites in Iran. Huge crowds of mourners dressed in black chanted slogans, waved Iranian flags, and held portraits of those killed. Ahead of the event, a media campaign urged people to participate, with authorities providing free bus and metro rides. Government offices were shut for the day. And now to sport. Well, England, they are the winners of the European Under-21 Championship final. They won 3-2 as they defeated Germany. Rowe, he came off the bench to score the winner in extra time. There were goals from Nebel and Weeper, and that pegged the Young Lions back after Elliott and Hutchinson struck in the first half. England defended the title after winning the competition in 2023. And now for a recap of the top stories making the news at this hour. Elderly Care and Protection Act report tabled in the Senate. Over $300 million collected by the NWC from Portmore residents in the May amnesty. Ground broken for the construction of new multi-million-dollar Ocho Rios Healthcare Center in St. Anne. You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. News is next at 5 tomorrow afternoon, but stay tuned because coming up next we have Sports Nation Live with Wade Walker and Alric Swiby.
In Jamaica, your rights are protected by our Constitution. From the right to education to freedom of expression, every citizen deserves respect and dignity. But remember, with rights come responsibilities. Let's uplift and respect each other and stand against injustice. Together, we can make Jamaica a better place for ourselves and future generations. Know your rights. Embrace your responsibilities. This message was brought to you by the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs.
Forget ordinary, think Liqui-Moly. Get a 15% discount on all Liqui-Moly oils and additives from April 25th to July 30th at all Burt's Auto Parts locations. Buy 4 or more Liqui-Moly engine oils or 4 transmission oils, you get a free LM40 all-purpose cleaner. But hurry up, the offer runs while stocks last and conditions apply. Forget ordinary, think Liqui-Moly. And remember, it hurts if you don't check Burt's.
The STEM Certified Robotics Training Camp 2025 will run from July 7 to July 28 at the following schools: Jamaica College, Hillel Academy, Bishop Gibson High, St. Hilda's High, Anoto Bay High, Marcus Garvey High, and Portmore Missionary Prep. The program includes robotic engineering and coding for ages 10 to 18 plus. Spots are still available, so register now at www.zjamaica.com/robotics or call 876-880-3301 or 499-3157.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 6 to 9 p.m. for our live broadcast of the Area Council 1 meeting at Fletcher's Land Community Center, Sunday, June 29. Hear from Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie and special guest speaker Olivia Babsy Grange, alongside Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, Pernell Charles, Anne-Marie Vaz, Senator Abka Fitzhenley, Donovan Williams, Senator Delano Seavright, Senator Shireen Golding-Campbell, and Donovan Samuels. It's the Area Council 1 meeting at Fletcher's Land Community Center, Sunday, June 29 from 6 to 9 p.m. right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the West Kingston constituency and the Jamaica Labour Party. Due to the broadcast of the Area Council 1 meeting on Sunday, June 29, Jamaican Dads, Immaculate Moments, and Baha'i Faith will not be aired.
This is to advise that on Sunday, June 29, the Mayor's Parlour will air at 12 p.m. This will temporarily replace the usual broadcast of Amazing Word at that time. We do apologize for any inconvenience this may cause.
The National Parenting Support Commission is hosting its annual National Parenting Sector Meeting at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel on June 30 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Nationwide 90 FM will be live on location during CliffViews Online from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The meeting aims to identify and map parenting support service providers across the island, identify service gaps and opportunities, and reintroduce the NPSC's accreditation framework that outlines the parenting support standards to which all providers must adhere. Don't miss out on the discussions that could influence policy consideration. That's a live broadcast of the annual National Parenting Sector Meeting at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel on June 30, broadcasting live during CliffViews Online from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the National Parenting Support Commission.
Data privacy is getting critical.
Tune in to CliffViews Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on July 1 and 2 for the Prioritizing Privacy Conference at the UE Regional Headquarters, Mona. Protect your business and gain a competitive edge. Get expert insights from top minds across Jamaica, the UK, Cayman, Barbados, Bermuda, and more. Learn how to stay compliant with the Data Protection Act 2020, prevent data breaches, and build client trust. Engage in hands-on sessions, real-world case studies, and cutting-edge topics like AI governance, workplace monitoring, and privacy-enhancing technologies. So tune in to CliffViews Online, July 1 and 2 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the Prioritizing Privacy Conference at the UE Regional Headquarters, Mona. Catch the live stream on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Privacy and Legal Management Consultants Limited. Register now at plmcja.com, where privacy meets performance.
Personal data is at risk. Time to get protection. Talking data defense.
But is this real? Hey, Greg, come look at this. Oh my.